my podcast. Woo! Ryan, we're gonna jack up the intro.
We did it once before where we said it at the same time, and I forgot that I wanted to say it at the same time until the last word.
So just the King's
podcast. Welcome to podcast.
Well, we're back at it. We just talked about how we haven't been on an episode by ourselves in a while.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have tons of ridiculous energy, going 1,000 tangents.
Yeah.
But
hopefully.
It's a good day for that.
It is.
Because this podcast is all about Thanksgiving. And if there's one thing...
This episode. If our whole podcast was all about Thanksgiving, that would be problematic.
Okay, thank you for the clarification, Ryan. This episode on the podcast is about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which actually, we found out we both enjoy Thanksgiving quite a bit.
Yeah.
Where does it rank on holidays for you?
I think on holidays, it ranks number 2 for me.
Right behind.
But the thing I like, right behind Christmas.
Okay.
But the thing I like more about Thanksgiving is you don't have the pressure of, number 1, getting people gifts that they'll like.
Yep.
Number 2, acting like you like the gifts that you got.
Yep.
Which I usually do. I usually love them. But there's just always that, like, we found these socks and they made us think of you, and I'm like...
That Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday because of exactly what you just talked about. But I like the positives of it's a predetermined itinerary. And the itinerary is not about filling the day with all kinds of craziness. It's legitimately a day where you hang out and eat.
Yeah. And for me and my family, it's usually multiple days because it's a little too far to travel there just to go one day.
Yeah.
So, but as you can see, hopefully if you're watching the video, if you're not, I'll explain it. Christmas is my favorite. We have our youth group Christmas party tonight. So I'm wearing my, I think, only Christmas sweater. It is a 1988 Nakatomi Plaza Christmas party sweater.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous of it, and it's a beautiful sweatshirt.
It is.
May have a different podcast where we talk about and convince our audience that's listening of why Die Hard is the best Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah, and I will tell you in detail.
In detail.
I was before this. I was talking to a law friend of mine. So like very legal-minded, detail-oriented, and I think I gave a pretty good defense of why. And you're gonna have to wait until some time into December to hear that.
Yep.
But you're gonna hear it. I have a strong case.
I'm excited, and I believe in you.
Yeah.
However, there's someone out there. Hopefully, they're gonna comment and give the counter arguments to why Die Hard is not.
Yeah, counter arguments like boo-hoo and wah, and that's not what I wanted to be.
Or
a Christmas
about
movie.
bah humbug.
Yeah, one of those. You Scrooges out there.
But today we are going to do, I think, one of my favorite podcast ideas outside of, I think having some of the professors on, and honestly, some of the stuff we've just done has been really fun. If you go on back and listen to some of the things that we've done in our Blessed campaign. But this is by far one of my favorite things to do that we've chosen to try. And that is today we are going to be creating our favorite version of a Thanksgiving feast or meal.
Yes. Now, here are the criteria.
Yes.
This could be endless because the amount of food,
oh my gosh.
not just the types of food, but I mean the amount of food simultaneously you can have at Thanksgiving is nearly endless, depending on the amount of people.
And yes, I was
like the more people, the more turkeys. The more people, the more different casseroles. And we're not here to give you a hard to reach goal for Thanksgiving.
We're here to create a reasonable, I think, and convincing argument for why our meal would be the best to go after, and it should be obtainable.
We're gonna say for a family for 4 to 6.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking 1 meat, 1 casserole, maybe 2 rolls, a dessert, and then a special item.
I would say that's perfect. All right,
maybe 1 more.
So 1 meat, 2 sides, a dessert, and rolls.
Yeah. Here's the other criteria.
Okay.
If you and your family are like, it's Thanksgiving, but we don't want a normal Thanksgiving meal. We do steak or whatever. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
No,
all right?
You're fine. We'll just enlighten you to what Thanksgiving is for the rest of us.
Absolutely.
I've always thought, and by always I mean since last week, I've always thought that a Thanksgiving-themed restaurant that does Thanksgiving year-round would be a hit.
They would kill it.
It would mostly overlap with KFC, but sides-wise. But it would be pretty good.
KFT? I don't know.
KFT. It would be that.
Oh, man.
Or TFT? Thanksgiving fried turkey. I would go there. I would go there. Okay. Well, this is a Thanksgiving meal. It's not an excuse to eat something different.
Let's start with our meat, and then we'll go to desserts, and then we're going to circle back.
Dessert? You can't have dessert till last. You'll ruin your meal. We gotta go in order.
We've already started.
Okay.
Meats. Go.
Okay.
What is your meat, Ryan? If you're choosing one.
If you are not trying something outside of an oven for your turkey, then don't have a turkey.
Oh, snap.
That's my thought. Turkey is not a good enough meat to have it any other time of the year.
What?
You do it at Thanksgiving because that's when you're supposed to do it.
Hot.
So unless you're going to do it good, and oven, maybe you found the magic recipe, but I have never had a turkey out of an oven that I'm like, man, I'm dying for that every other day of the year. Usually I'm like, that's one day's fine. So
what do you do with your turkey?
If you're not going to do anything outside of oven, go ham.
Go ham.
I mean, make a ham.
It's a statement and a...
Ham is just better than turkey at the beginning. That's like ground beef versus like ground sausage. Mm-hmm. One is categorically better. You got to do something to ground beef to make it worthwhile. Spaghetti sauce or chili or whatever. That's how I feel about turkey. If you're going to make turkey worthwhile, it's got to be one of two things. Smoked or deep fried.
Oh my gosh, deep fried turkey is very good.
Oh, if it's deep fried turkey versus oven ham, I would have a hard time picking a winner. So I'd probably go turkey.
You though, I think you're going to find that most people don't deep fry, so you're going to probably have to go ham.
I'm going to go deep fried turkey, and if you don't have the willpower or the ability to do that, then ham, then smoked turkey, then oven turkey. But if you're at oven turkey, just give up.
Here we go.
Kidding.
Mine is oven turkey. So,
boo. Why?
So here's the reason why. We have an oven roaster, so we don't use our actual thing. But I also have a high quality 72-hour brine that I do for oven roasted turkeys, and so I've done this for the last 2 years. And it is the best turkey I've ever had. Okay. Besides deep fry. And there's a reason. So deep fry and ham.
The brine is boiling oil for deep fried.
Deep fried. Yeah. The reason I don't like the ham and the deep fry as much is because I feel like I want my turkey to be the flexible item to be used for other elements inside my meal. So I want it to be...
You're thinking ahead. You're thinking that sandwich... The second meal of the day.
I want it to be something that I can use and manipulate with my other side items and some of the other stuff that's coming down.
Yeah.
And so I don't want it to be an overwhelming flavor. I want it to be flexible. I will say the brine, which you can look up on the internet, easy, makes the turkey juicy and like melt in your mouth and like taste more like chicken, truthfully. And it has this like effect of staying that way for longer later. So it doesn't dry out.
Most of the Thanksgiving turkeys I have, I'm pretty sure, are still thawing an hour before they cook.
Yes.
It's just like, let's get this baby in the oven quick so we can stuff it in people's mouths.
I made that mistake, and I was like you. I was like, this is the worst. Why do we eat this? Yeah. So I literally I made like a literal psychology decision. If I can't figure out to make this turkey the best ever... I will stop and I'll go ham. Yeah. I was going to be the one that went steak or like something else.
That's fine.
Like roast beef or something. Let
me clarify. Like if you do that for your Thanksgiving, I get it. Because most people around here, at least in Missouri, the Midwest, they might have one for one side of their family, one for the other. They may have a local one and then a grandparents one. They may have a church one, a work one. I get it. If you want to have a Thanksgiving meal, 1 out of 5. Yeah. That's like not turkey. I get it.
Clay Eldridge in our small group made the best butt I've ever had. Pork butt. And it was delicious. Yeah. I would have eaten that for Thanksgiving.
I'm just saying Thanksgiving as a style of meal rather than as the holiday.
So that to me is the meat. I enjoy it. I think it's delicious. My family looks forward to it now. That's how I know it's good. So it's one of those they're like,
I need to try it.
Are you doing the turkey thing? And I'm like, yes, I'm doing the brine. Well, my dad asked me like a month ago if I had the turkey. So I'm like, here we go. So I'm like, let's go. So all right, I'm going to start with sides because you went meat first, so I'll go sides first.
This is sides, but not casseroles.
No, this is just sides because we have our one special item that can be a casserole or something else, right? Or you want a casserole?
I don't remember how I broke this up, but let's just keep going.
Okay, so I'm going to do sides. Mine are mashed potatoes and stuffing. That's my sides.
If you had to pick one out of those two.
Stuffing, 100%.
Okay. I've never had stuffing that I love.
Because
it doesn't taste like one thing. Mm-hmm. It tastes like I only ever watched one episode of Honey Boo Boo, and her mom cooked for their family by having a roast.
Into our podcast
because we're talking about gross food. And
keep going. I'm bringing up stuffing, and I got
I watched her cook for her family. She'd get the giant roasting pan and dump cans of corn and sticks of butter and like the grossest weird seasoning, like giant tub of like pig slop.
Yeah.
And she called it a multi-meal. And I've never seen stuffing
and
that I didn't think of that for. I'm like, this is literally like somebody is saving.
Let me save stuffing for you. Let me save it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I never had stuffing. It's not technically stuffing. I argue this. That's a separate topic because we don't put it in the bird.
Yeah.
It's more like a casserole.
Yeah.
But it's stuffing because it would be the traditional things you would put inside the bird.
Yeah.
So it's a homemade recipe that I only started having once I got married to Katrina.
Okay.
And we didn't travel for Thanksgiving because we didn't go with Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We just stayed home. So we had to learn how to cook Thanksgiving all by ourselves as like newlyweds, early 20s. It was like we wouldn't cook anything all year, and then for some reason we thought we could cook this like Michelin star. So she literally has been cooking this for 15 years, and she only cooks it once a year right now, which we actually had that conversation the other day. I was like, you need to make this. But she fresh cuts all the veggies, sautés them in butter, pulls them off to the side, makes this fresh, like it's basically over the counter, seasoned bread / whatever, and then pours all of this like ridiculously fresh buttered sautéed onions, celery, and what it comes out like is it comes out like it sounds horrible when I say it, but like a delicious buttery, almost like bread / mashed potato bread pudding.
Yeah.
And to me, with mashed potatoes, it is like heaven on earth because we're going to get to the gravy. And with gravy on top of that, it's my favorite part. I eat it for 4 days straight. I eat it until I can't eat it anymore.
I have to say that so we've been close enough to our family to where we always can drive to a Thanksgiving. We never have to do it on our own. So Sharon has perfected a mashed potato recipe, and I would take that over any stuffing I've ever had in my life. It is specifically Yukon Gold potatoes, not russets. Mm-hmm. Every time we go to the store to get the Yukon Golds, she's like almost cursing russets under her breath. It's so straightforward, Yukon Golds. And then like butter and heavy cream and all this stuff that just makes it so good. And it's almost a sauce consistency. It's not that runny.
Yep.
But it's like, and it has some chunks in it. It's not totally pureed either.
Yep.
But it's like moldable enough that it could be like slightly thicker than gravy, and it needs no gravy. Like it's gravy delicious. Would mess it up.
Dude,
it's so good. It's its own gravy.
So that stuffing has taken over our family so much that we just do instant mashed potatoes because no one really cares about the potatoes, and that's to get into the part that's next, which is the gravy. After you tell me your other side dish. So what's your other side dish? Because your mashed potatoes sounds like it's dominant.
I would just pick another casserole.
Okay, what's the other casserole?
So my second side is just another casserole. I'm gonna go the cheesy broccoli rice casserole.
Okay.
That thing is always a winner.
Yep.
Even if it's like just done okay, what is it? Cheese and rice? That's great. It's hard to mess up.
I agree.
And you're already cooking out 100 other things that day. So.
When that's cooked well, though, and I don't like the broccoli side, I'm more of the just cheesy onion potato. That's the version I grew up. But when it's cooked, when that's done well and there's like a crispy top on it, and then you like kind of cut it out and stuff, which is
that's the best.
Really hard to talk about this podcast right now, Ryan, because I'm in the middle of a diet, people. So as I'm describing
this is a terrible episode for that diet.
I'm eating less than 2,000 calories a day right now. So here we go. But I've already decided.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's a cheat day. So I can have whatever I want. Anyway, but I agree with you. That's a fantastic side.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's a great casserole side, whatever you want to call it.
Now, hot take.
Yeah.
I have never in my life liked those cheesy scalloped potatoes, the little medallion cut ones. Here's why. The texture's always funky. Mm-hmm. It's like you already have mashed potatoes, and you're just like one more potato dish instead of rice or something else. Like, I don't get why you have to shove potatoes into everything. Second of all, why is it a weird floppy disc? Not floppy disc, but like a disc that's floppy.
Yep.
I don't... Just do potatoes a different way. Every other form of potatoes.
People love those.
French fries, waffle fries.
Yep.
Home fries, or like the little skillet cubes. Like, all those are great. Mashed potatoes, great. Why do you have to do another one?
I just want them to be skillet, like a country skillet, not baked. Yeah. It comes out like a half-baked baked potato cut into pieces. Yeah. And I'm like,
it just feels like potato. When you've already seen Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth in superhero movies, and then you see Chris Pine, you're like, stop it with the Chris's. we get it. We have enough Chris's.
So here's the big question, and maybe I'm going to answer my own question, because the gravy to me is one of the most important components, and there's a key to good gravy.
Okay.
And maybe you guys haven't had this, and your wife's a really good cook, so she probably makes a good gravy. But when we cooked it by ourselves, we didn't recognize that gravy is actually extremely easy to make off of the drippings of the turkey. So when you oven pan roast, you get this awesome gravy that naturally comes off the drippings. So on our roasting pan, we take all of that, dump it into a pan, sift through the pieces, and then you just add a little cornstarch, you add a little sugar, you add a little salt, and you just reduce it. Yeah. And by the end, I mean, it is like the buttery, greasy, golden, like it is this brown gold that it is so good. And when my mom was trying to show me how to do that, I was like, why have I not done this before?
It's so easy.
It's so good. And I was never a gravy person. Yeah. I was always like, keep the gravy off my mashed potatoes, keep the gravy off this. And now it's like dumping bacon grease onto anything. You're like, that does not get better. Are you a gravy person?
Ever since Sharon started making those mashed potatoes, I don't need gravy for anything. If an item needs something, I just pour those mashed potatoes on it. It's so good.
Potato gravy.
And we don't usually oven do a turkey unless we're at my parents' house. And then they just make their own. They make their own everything. Like, we're not touching it.
How are you, or where are beets on your list?
No.
Okay.
Why?
So the two items.
I was hoping those went extinct.
What about the onion-covered green beans?
I'm okay with those.
Here's
what I don't care for.
And I'm like,
why would you put mushrooms in that? Why? Why would you do that to us?
Why?
All moms watching this, what are you trying to sneak in?
I think it's cream of mushroom soup.
Yeah.
And I agree with you.
I would do cream of mushroom soup through a strainer to keep out all the mushrooms and just keep all the cream. Put cream in there. That's the same.
So what's your other? So we have a casserole. We have your whatever. Mine was mashed potatoes and then
stuffing. So on to the actual casserole. Mm-hmm. Okay, you go first. So mine might be controversial.
The actual casserole that I look forward to seeing the most on there is that green bean one.
Okay.
But it's not necessarily because I absolutely love it. It's just the only vegetable that makes it on the table.
Other than potatoes, which by the time you do everything you're going to do to the potatoes is no longer a vegetable.
It's like a starch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like eating a potato chip and calling it a vegetable.
It's like when people are like, I want to eat my vegetables, and they have the asparagus wrapped in bacon. You're like, you just canceled out whatever vegetation you're eating.
I ate those the other day. They were so good.
They are good. They're not vegetables.
No, but anyway, that to me is like a component of like...
I feel like it balances everything out. Mm-hmm. Like it helps you appreciate when you take a bite of something else. No, it's good though.
It can be
good.
My sister makes a really good one. I really do like hers, and when it's good, it's really good.
Here's my casserole.
Okay.
And I want you to know that I like this casserole so much that when I was 16 or 17, when I went to church for my birthday, like the church day closest to my birthday, I brought this as my birthday cake, this casserole.
Oh my goodness.
I stuck that many candles in it.
Yep.
And we lit it and blew it out. Corn casserole.
You are a dork.
It's so good. It's like 1 foot in the dessert realm, 1 foot in the just satisfying
garbage bin. I don't know.
No, like almost cornbread, but way more moist.
Yep.
So good,
dude.
That's the most Iowa, Missouri answer I've ever heard, though. But
it when I taste that, I had it for the first time.
Yeah, at our life group with
and
Steven.
I legitimately was like, this tasted like corn, interrupted cornbread being cooked, and then stopped it from happening.
Yeah. This dish, corn is just corn. This dish is all caps corn.
Yes.
Corn! That's what it is. And that's why I love it.
Well, and I mean, I get it. I made a garbage soup of dressing earlier. Evidently, stuffing is not your favorite. So
maybe you with the oven turkey and the stuffing, maybe you figured it out.
I'm telling you,
and I'll give you that benefit of the doubt.
I'll need to let you try a little.
Yeah.
And I'll get
the day after.
We'll find a way. We'll find a way. All right. So moving on.
Okay.
We have rolls. What are the rolls that your family chooses? Because this is a debatable thing.
My law friend who I had lunch with today said crescent rolls.
Ooh.
Which I haven't had at Thanksgiving that much, and I do love crescent rolls.
Croissant roll. I'm just kidding.
Get out of here. Croissants are different. Crescent rolls. I think they have to be a contender. They're not my favorite, though. My favorite
they are delicious.
I think they're called Gran's rolls, but they're the ones that look like a butt. Those are always the best. Because there's so much roll.
How about Rhodes rolls? Have you ever had those? Those are the ones that you set out the night before and they rise.
I think that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Rhodes butt rolls. We're sponsored by butt rolls today.
So whenever I see those at our house, because that's what we do, you have to set them out, let them rise a little bit.
Yeah.
And then whatever. But my mom makes these things called killer rolls as the breakfast.
Okay.
And she takes those exact rolls, covers them in butterscotch, pudding stuff, and then some caramel sugar, and then pecans.
Yeah.
And then they cook in the oven, and they're like pull apart.
So you said your family's coming to town.
Yeah.
You wanna ask her to make one more
of those
6-roll pan?
Dude, they're delicious, and they go so fast.
Yeah.
But so whenever I see those, I think two things. I think, oh dang, we getting killer rolls, and I think, man, I'm gonna eat too many of those tomorrow with a piece of turkey and a little stuff and a little bit of gravy on that. It's gonna be delicious. So the other option though that I've heard is like fresh bread. Have you ever been like where like someone has like a French...
I've never done that for it. The rolls that we just need to make sure make their way in here, I don't know what they're called, but they're the little flat like 3-inch by 2-inch rectangles that are about 1 inch tall, and you buy them frozen, and you can like put them in the oven from frozen. Those are always great, but they are some straight up Baptist potluck rolls.
That's true.
They are like,
I feel like I see those.
I don't know what they're called.
Every potluck ever.
They're good, but that's like a Subaru Outback compared to all these Teslas, and you're like, it's good.
Got the Porsche in the front
I do not
yard,
mind it.
We got the Civic coming up.
But it's
no, I get it.
Those are good. The only thing about the Rhodes rolls, the butt rolls, if you're confused, is I feel like most Thanksgivings I've been to, not with my family, it's not an issue. They rise, they put them in the oven, done. Yeah. Every year with my family, it's like
they're not.
It's
rising.
like a hostage situation, like looking over your shoulder, seeing
so
if it's
true?
gonna get you.
Yeah.
Like, why is it so difficult? Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, and we always...
It's like that Jack in the Box.
We always run into the issue. It's like our oven only can hold so much, and so we're trying to cook so many things at once, and then the rolls have risen, and you're like, but we have nowhere to put them. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
All right,
I think Rhodes are the best, though.
I agree with you. I have had and been to a couple where they've had this like really fancy artisan like French bread. Yeah. And like, dude, it was hot and like it was so good. But
don't make that in mind.
It was.
But it sounds great.
It was so good. Okay, last thing.
It's dessert.
Dessert, or at Kingsway, desert.
Is it?
It is. That's what I said for years.
Oh no. Okay.
So. I have a hot take on this, and some people may not think I'm right. So,
are you just gonna say more turkey?
No.
Okay.
No, I actually have.
Because that would be wrong.
What's your dessert?
I don't know.
Are you going traditional? Are you just going?
Here's the
pumpkin
thing.
pie.
I like that pumpkin pie is there. It's not by any means my favorite. The last couple years when we lived in Rolla, there's a famous, regionally famous pie place called Slice of Pie. And we'd always get an apple and then a something else.
Yeah.
And bring that to Thanksgiving. And that was always a huge hit. And apple pie is my favorite pie. Or something with like a cinnamony kind of thing. So like if there's a peach one, like that'll do too. That's where my heart is.
I can do a raspberry or like a blackberry. But okay. I can't do like fruit other than a berry in it.
That's fine.
I struggle.
You can be right. You can be wrong.
I could be. I know I'm wrong because
we'll find out in heaven.
Good apple pie is really good.
At Thanksgiving.
So I hate pumpkin pie. I am not a fan of it at all. I think it is the lamest after all the all-star things that I've eaten.
Yeah.
And then I get to that and I'm like, why? Maybe
especially
it's like the turkey
without
for
whipped cream.
Yes, and homemade whipped cream. If you've never seen that, or like not like the whip it.
Yeah.
I need even the spray can stuff. At least get the spray can stuff that to actually taste better. Don't get the Cool Whip. If you bring out,
kind of like Cool Whip.
Oh gosh, no.
I can just eat that stuff.
My dad loves Cool Whip. He gets out of the freezer and he'll eat like ice cream. But there's, it's one of those But then about 7 years ago, there was a place in town called the Red Barn. Okay. Under different owners now.
Well, not Rip.
Rip because it's no longer available in this way.
Oh, okay.
But the owner at the time baked pies around the Christmas season and the Thanksgiving season, and she made a pecan pie that was out of this world good.
Yeah.
Like so good that when my grandma came here and tried it, she thought we had made it. And she was like, this pie's better than mine. And then we told her, and she went and bought one and tried to take it home with her. And I remember I was like, Grandma, you're fine right here, so you're going to take a pecan. Now, here's the big controversy. I am not a minced pecan pie person.
What does that mean? They cut up the pecans?
Yes, they mince them.
I don't know if I've ever even seen that.
Oh, dude, around here, so then the top just looks like minced.
Yeah.
And then the inside of it is minced. I'm like, no, I want this creamy.
What I want from a pecan pie is the gelatinous sugar inside and then pecans. Don't touch them. Don't even look at them until you eat it.
That's exactly
You mince it with your mouth. That's what teeth are for. They're mincers.
And then you put a scoop of vanilla ice cream next to it, and it's a little warm. Dude, it became one of those things that I stopped eating the stuffing and the chicken to have that. I would never do that before. My answer probably would have been start back again. That's your dessert. Start back at the top.
We'll start back at one.
But now I'm like, no, I want that piece of pecan pie, and I'm probably going to eat two. Yeah. And I'm probably going to wait till a little later.
I don't know. So I think, like I said before, apple pie or something like that.
I know you said that, and then you never landed anywhere.
Apple pie is the dessert.
Okay.
It is it.
You're full American.
Yeah.
Full blown.
But that's just my weakness, is any cinnamon, maybe cardamom, nutmeg, whatever. Those kind of desserts. If you got one for me, coffee cake, those, dude, I'm so weak to those. Cinnamon rolls.
As Angela made for us this morning at our preaching meeting, and she was she brings out the cinnamon roll casserole.
Yeah,
it was
I don't know what that was. It was
so good.
It was so good.
It was so good with coffee. And your coffee was
anything like that, I'm weak for.
Yeah.
So whatever dessert you have, Thanksgiving specific or not, and then also you can make all those as a crisp as well, the casserole sized with the crusty kind of thing on top. This is special to my family though. We would always make, I'm pretty sure it'd be around this time, Blondie brownies. Ones without chocolate chips for my brother. The dunce hat of Blondie brownies.
Yep.
And then regular ones for all the geniuses there. And so good. But that's just a family staple for us. It's not a Thanksgiving staple.
We do the apple cider stuff too. Whatever it's called, the Mardellis or whatever it is.
Martinelli's.
We
Sparkling
do
apple cider.
That's delicious. That's delicious. I don't know why that's tradition for me, but that's
That's our New Year's drink.
Is that your New Year's one?
Yeah.
For us, it's
always.
It's Thanksgiving is when we normally I'll drink a whole bottle of it through the whole meal.
Martinelli's for Sharon and I is our New Year's drink. It's our we got the job at Kingsway drink.
Yeah.
It's our I'm gonna graduate with my master's drink.
That's awesome.
Every time. It's so good.
It is. Well, and to me, it's nostalgic.
Yeah.
Growing up with it, all that stuff is really fun. So recanting, no, I mean
recounting. Recapping.
Not recanting.
Recant is
I take it all back. I don't want to do that. I want my turkey. I want mashed potatoes and
then turkey.
Yeah, basted or not basted, but
that thing.
Whatever I do for 72 hours.
The brine,
and then I want my wife's amazing stuffing. I want the mashed potatoes there just for the texture of all that together. I need that bacon or that turkey gravy that's coming straight off the fat of that. And then I will take the green beans so I feel better about myself. But then I want about 1,000 Roadhouse. And I want 2 pieces of pecan pie.
For me, it's deep fried turkey. Nobody in my family or Sharon's family, to my knowledge, has ever made one. But we had enough at like church Thanksgiving, so I was like,
"This is the way.
This is the only way.
This is the way."
For me, it's deep fried turkey.
Mm-hmm.
It is Sharon's mashed potatoes.
I need some of those.
So buttery, so good. It is broccoli, cheese, rice casserole. It is corn casserole. All the yellow casseroles you can find, I want them. The more yellow, the better. Rhodes rolls, the butt one specifically.
Yep.
If you didn't get it from the word Rhodes. And then apple pie. That's all I need.
So let us know where do you think we're right? Do you think we're wrong? Is there something different you'd change?
Yeah.
Leave a comment. Send a Ryan.
Do you have a different way to make turkey?
Emails. Yeah.
Yeah.
I if you want to have the dried out nasty.
We didn't even mention that cranberry stuff.
I know.
What is
I
that?
tried to. It's the nasty. Well, so my mom and my wife make it every year, and I'm always like, "This is so much work," and I'm not going to try any of it because I always try like a tiny bit, and I'm like, "This is disgusting." So that's why
the texture of it is what I assume blood pudding would be. But it's like dessert blood pudding.
See,
I don't want dessert blood.
It's as if they thought they were making Jell-O, but it's like a really healthy version. And I'm just
it's like there's always those like movies with the little. They're trying to like perfect teleportation, and they're like, "Let's see if this apple gets over here," and then it does. They're like, "Let's try a squirrel," and then it disappears from one, and blood pudding is in the other one. That cranberry thing, they're like, "What happened?
We did it.
It didn't show up the same way." Yeah, that's what I think of.
Well, let us know what you would include or what we left out. I'm sure we have other options that you do traditionally in your family. Tell us one that's non-traditional that you have done. We'd love to see that. I hope that you guys all have a great Thanksgiving. And we put this out as a little fun for you to just enjoy and get some hot takes and talk about things that you wish were different. This podcast is coming out on Thanksgiving intentionally to kind of just create some conversation and hopefully be a little fun thing you can play. We love you guys. We appreciate you. We hope you're enjoying your family and that you have someone to be close with and to enjoy a good meal with today. And if you're at Kingsway, make sure you're reaching out to your neighbors today. Make sure you're talking to those that you love, and just make this something where you thank God for the blessings you have. You live in the contentment that you have, and make sure at some point during the day you give God the glory for the life we all have. We're truly blessed people. So, hey, don't forget to click the subscribe button if you want to see more, or share this video with someone you think might be funny.
If you want to see a Christmas specific episode like this, you better hit that subscribe button.
Or put it in the comments. Tell us what you want us to debate later or next if there's a Christmas thing. I know we're thinking about either cookies, desserts, or treats as other stuff. As other movies. Yep. Yeah. We have some other things that will. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. Well, thanks so much for tuning in today. You can declare which one of us was the winner.
I know it's me, but you can declare.
You can tell Ryan yourself how badly he lost, and he needs to hear it.
And I wouldn't hear it. I'd plug my ears and say la la la.
You guys have a great, glorious day in the Lord. We'll see you later.
See ya.